Well, I can see you at home tearing your hair out what you've got left of, because everybody's got a pothole somewhere in their region. Amy Knight, of course, is with us, so back once again. It seems to be getting worse, if anything. I read somewhere that, and this is England and Wales, I believe, that 3,122 reports per day. And I believe it's the highest in 2024, is the highest for 5 years or something. Is that right?
That's right. 2024, the highest number of reported potholes for 5 years. And in Britain, 1 in 10 minor roads is now estimated to be in poor condition.
Well, the frustration is so great that a lot of people are taking the law into their own hands in a way. Have a look at this.
This is the state of the roads here where I live in Harlow, and it's been like this for ages. So me and the boys thought we'd come and do it ourselves.
Good old Rod Stewart. He's out there shoveling away. I like that. The local council near Rod did complete the work shortly afterwards, but it warned people not to undertake road surface repairs themselves, as they might become liable for any future accidents. So the question is, of course, why is nothing being done about it?
Well, councils hopefully will start to respond a little bit quicker now that there's additional investment coming through from the government. We've got £1.6 billion dedicated to local roads in the current tax year and £4.8 billion for motorways and A roads, which was announced in the autumn budget. And in the spending review in June 2025, Chancellor Rachel Reeves promised £24 billion will be spent by 2030, and that will be split between the national highways and the councils. The thing that's going to make a real difference on this pothole plague is the fact that councils are now going to be asked to report how many potholes have been declared in their area and how many of those they've actually put right.
It'll no doubt take a while to spend that money and fix the potholes. So in the meantime, I want to quiz Amy on your rights. Jill Bryant says, this is a picture, she said, of the pothole that she hit. Now, she said it was full of water at the time. She didn't actually see it. But when she got in touch with the Council for Compensation, she was told that because the pothole had not previously been reported, and when the road was inspected some months earlier, there was no pothole. So what are the rules here? I mean, is it your word against theirs?
This is really tricky. You have to have evidence that the pothole has been previously reported. If it has not been reported, be the one that goes online to report it. Otherwise, the council can say, sorry, we didn't know about it and that's why we didn't fix it. Then you collect your evidence. Now, obviously, you need to do this safely. So when the road is quiet, go and take pictures of the pothole. You can take pictures of the damage to your car, save all the invoices and receipts for any costs that you've incurred.
Due to the varying values of vehicles, there is no fixed levels of pothole compensation. But Amy says there are some tools to help your claim.
There's something really helpful on the RAC website. They've partnered with an organisation called Fix My Street. And there's a tool there on the RAC website where you put in the postcode of where the pothole is, and it can help you find out which organisation you need to refer that claim to. So using this tool, putting in the postcode will show you, right, who do you actually need to send this compensation claim to if you're trying to get some money back. And when you're reporting the pothole, it can also show you which other road defects have been reported already on that postcode.
Just a final question about insurance, about car insurance. Will they automatically cover pothole damage?
Not every policy. It is something that you need to check. And if you live in an area where potholes are particularly rife, then I would suggest fully comprehensive and checking for the detail to make sure that potholes are included.
Now, we're going to put all those tips on our website that Amy's been talking about, and thank you very much. And the website address is bbc.co.uk/ripoffbritain. Thanks, Amy. But now it's time for our advice clinic, and today, personal finance expert Amy Knight is here to help Keith Hughes from Wrexham. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, Gloria.
As well as battling a bad internet connection during our call, Keith is also fighting his energy company, British Gas, after it increased his monthly direct debits to £780 a month. You must have got an awful shock, though, Keith. And what would your direct debit have been ordinarily?
Around £70.
Gosh, so like 10 times greater. British Gas blamed Keith's smart meter, which it said hadn't been sending readings, so his bills were based on estimates. So, Keith, even though they were blaming the smart meter, how were you feeling about all of this? Because I know I would have been very frustrated being charged 10 times the amount that I should have been.
Yeah, very angry, very disappointed that every time I phoned them, I was told, we're working on the issue, we'll be in touch. And then 10 days would pass and I would phone and I'd get the same message from a different advisor. And we were going round and round circles. Given that we live in a small semi-detached 2-bedroom bungalow, it just seemed, anybody with any sense wouldn't, that was a touch on the high side.
Even so, British Gas took a direct debit of £780 4 months in a row, rather than the £70 a month he'd normally pay.
My account is now around £4,000 in credit. They're saying is until they've resolved the whole issue, they're not going to give us any money back.
And how do you feel about that?
Annoyed, disappointed is an understatement.
Amy, what do you think of this whole thing overall?
Legitimately, there are reasons why they can increase your direct debit. So if the unit rate of energy goes up, or if you come to the end of a fixed rate deal and you move on to a variable tariff. And it's really, really shocking that they've held on to this money for so long.
Because actually it's Keith's money.
Absolutely.
It's not their money.
It's not British Gas's money. You should be able to withdraw money that's yours anytime, provided you've got enough in there to cover at least one direct debit, which clearly Keith has. And sometimes there's a minimum period. So you might need to be with that provider for, say, 90 days. Keith satisfies those conditions. So I don't think there's any excuse at all.
Well, obviously, Keith, we got in touch actually with British Gas. Now, it blamed a fault with his meter, which showed that his usage was higher than it really is. And that led to the high bill. British Gas has apologised to him for how long it's taken to review his account and says it will install a new meter, correct his bills, refund his credit and issue him with a goodwill gesture as well. So how does that make you feel, Keith?
I'm delighted to hear it and thank you for intervening. I just think it's unfortunate that it's taken British Gas so long to get round to doing the right thing.
Yeah, Keith, thank you very much indeed for coming to Rip Off Britain. I'm glad we were able to help, and thank you very much to Amy as well.
Thank you both very much.
Well, now, Amy and Gary are back to answer more of your questions, and we're going to start with you, Gary. This one is from Anita Britton. She says she purchased diet patches online for £29.99. They were advertised with a 30-day hassle-free money-back guarantee, so she decided to buy them. She found they simply didn't work on her, so she asked for a refund and was surprised when the company refused, saying results can vary. Where does she stand?
Well, under the Consumer Rights Act, of course, anything you buy as a product or service should be as described. They made it a specific contractual term that she would have a 30-day guaranteed return policy. So they actually took it beyond the Consumer Rights Act.
So should she just go back and argue with them on those terms?
She absolutely should refer them to the no quibble return that they promised. That was a contractual promise at the beginning of the contract.
Amy, let's put this one to you. Mark Cole says he's having an ongoing issue with the retailer and a courier company after ordering a couple of pairs of swimming trunks. He got a delivery notification showing the parcel had been delivered, but you guessed it, not to him. The courier suggested he knock on doors to locate the package, which he did, but with no joy. And the retailer is refusing to refund. What can he do about it?
Now, how Mark paid and how much he paid matters. If they are fancy pants trunks and he's paid more than £100 on a credit card, then he's covered under Section 75 of the Consumer Credit Act, and the bank will simply get that payment reversed. If he's either used a debit card or the transaction is less than £100, then it's chargeback he wants to use. That can work on credit and debit cards. And interestingly, from the business perspective, it costs them a lot more in fees to use chargeback than if they'd just given him a refund when he asked for it. So he could send a follow-up email informing them that he's going to claim for chargeback and see if that spurs them into action.
Perfect, thank you.
So there, now he knows. Well, now, Gary, Paula O'Halloran wrote in after having warning messages appear on the dashboard of a brand new car. The manufacturer took it in for repair, but has now had the car for nearly 5 months whilst they try and repair the fault. Meanwhile, she's paying the monthly finance on it. So what are her rights?
Well, the time frame you mentioned, Gloria, is really important because for the first 30 days after a purchase, if there is a fault, you do have the right to reject the goods and either ask for a full refund or a replacement. So this occurred within the first 30 days. So she should be actually saying to the car company, the car retailer, the garage, actually, I want to either have a completely different brand new car or I want all of my money back. Now, in the meantime, with the car finance company, I would give them a call and actually let them know what is happening. You know, tread carefully there because that is a separate legal arrangement that she has with the car hire company. But if they're reasonable, they may let her kind of have a payment holiday until all of this is resolved.
Well, I hope she gets the results.
Absolutely.
Well, there you have it. Such a lot of advice packed into today's programme, from who to complain to if your energy company isn't fixing a problem, to your rights to compensation after hitting a pothole. If you've missed any of that, don't worry. You can catch up on today's programme and many more on BBC iPlayer.
Well, I'm afraid that's where we have to leave it for today. But thank you very much indeed for being with us. And from all of us on the Rip Up Britain team, bye-bye.
Goodbye.